You know, one of the things about the Trump era that's extra disturbing is that now everybody's just saying the quiet part out loud. Trump gave everybody a permission structure to say the thing that's unsayable, right? And so we've just seen example after example about this. Trump himself even said in a speech, I can't believe they're not fighting back harder on this. I think it was in reference to him sending the U.S. military into U.S. cities, like illegally invading and occupying U.S. cities. I think he was given a rally speech and talking about that, and he goes, I can't believe they're not putting up a bigger fight. And, like, this is what it is now. This is what, like, even they're surprised by what they can get away with. Trump, the corruption Trump is engaged in. I mean, it is just mind-blowing. He literally pardoned a guy who laundered money for Al-Qaeda because that guy bought his crypto token. I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about, y'all. Crypto scamming his own supporters with a shit coin, doing illegal deals under the emoluments clause of the Constitution because he's got resorts opening in fucking Vietnam and Qatar and elsewhere. I mean, this shit is wild, okay? But now it's not just Trump doing the quiet part out loud. It is not just Trump doing it. There's many others doing it as well. So first, let me start with this one. This is at the U.S. Oil Lobby Summit, which, cursed fucking most cursed summit of all time, most cursed sentence to read. And listen to what this guy says. Watch this.
If you can imagine our industry going back there, we would get a lot more oil a lot sooner than we will out of Venezuela. That's more conventional oil right near infrastructure and gas as well. And we reduce political risk with getting oil out of the stands in Russia. Terrible day for Moscow. Wonderful day for the Iranians, the United States, the oil industry, and world peace. I think there's a good chance that geopolitics will remove barrels. Okay,
so do you understand what he's saying here? What he's saying is if there's a regime change in Iran, we would get a lot more oil and gas much sooner than from Venezuela. It used to be they would go through this whole song and dance about, oh, we're under imminent threat of attack. If Saddam might attack us, we need to protect ourselves. This whole thing we're doing is to protect ourselves. Now they're like, man, wouldn't it be dope if we stole all of Iran's oil? Wouldn't that be the shit? Shouldn't we do these illegal things? Call me Crimey McCrimington. I love committing crimes. I love doing imperialism and colonialism. I'm an oil man, and I sure would like to steal oil from there. This is what's happening. This is what he's saying. And by the way, the reason why it'd be easier to get it from Iran is they already have the oil infrastructure there. Okay? It's not the case in Venezuela. They have to, upgrade the infrastructure, which costs billions of dollars, and then start stealing the oil. In Iran, they go, we could just go in there and start stealing that bitch. This is what they're saying. At the oil summit, they're going, hey, here's a crime we can commit. Here's some robbery, some theft we can do. Here's some natural resources we can jack from poor people who are exploited and who are under the boot of U.S. imperialism. Just saying it. They're just saying it out loud. Okay, but I got another example of this. So here is Senator Graham in Israel, and listen to what he casually says here as if it's nothing.
Well, I think what his plan is to replace the money of $3-point-something billion with an investment in new technology, rather than just writing you a check. Help the idea if he wants to create a partnership outside of the aid number. I like that idea. The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel because if you're not one step ahead of the enemy, you suffer.
The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel. I mean, honestly, it should come as no surprise. They're still doing a genocide in Gaza. They're still doing an ethnic cleansing. They're still stealing it. They're still bulldozing what remains of Palestinians' homes. Now, they're going to take the entire West Bank. In fact, they acted on that just the other day and gave themselves the illegal permission to go ahead and annex the entire thing. So they're taking Gaza. They're taking the West Bank. They bomb Lebanon on a regular basis. They're going to steal parts of Lebanon as well. They are creating a greater Israel. And here's Senator Graham going, the wars of tomorrow are being prepared today in Israel. In other words, yes, we're the warmongers, we're the imperialists, we're the baddies, and I sure love being on the side of the baddies. The videos they must have on Lindsey Graham, the videos they have in a Mossad vault in Tel Aviv on Lindsey Graham must be the most disturbing things of all time. Of all time, right? I heard, who was saying it the other day? Was it on the I've Had It podcast? Somebody was talking about how he's got moles all over his body, and he likes to be, treated in a disrespectful way, let's say. He likes to be, whipped and attacked and called a bad boy, and he loves to play the role as like, oh, I'm sorry I've been such a bad boy. You should have your way with me and take advantage of me. This is what I heard. I'm just saying what I heard. I have no idea if that's true. You know, it's all alleged, but they must have videos of him and pictures of him, motherfucker wearing a dress with a thong, you know, wearing some assless chaps and prancing around with somebody from rentboy.com. Like, there's something going on there where he's like, shit, what? How many wars do you want me to advocate? I'll advocate 18 of them bitches if you do not leak the dirt that you guys have on me. There has never been a more clear closet case than this man right here. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. And instead of just not having shame and living as his true self and being a good person, instead he's like, I'm going to try to hide that with all my guilt and all my shame. I'm going to try to hide that as I, enthusiastically support every war that murders innocent people all around the world. That's who this guy is. But I still haven't even gotten to what's arguably the main event here. So here's Kristi Noem. Shout out to C-SPAN 2 for running this, because nobody would otherwise give a shit what Kristi Noem has to say, because she's a pathetic little lackey whose job is to just, clean up whatever mess Trump makes and, support ICE even when they're shooting people in the face in the street. So here she is talking about the election, and listen to what she slips up. And yet again, this is example number 3 of saying the quiet part out loud.
And elections is another one of those critical infrastructure responsibilities that I have as well. And I would say that many people believe that it may be one of the most important things that we need to make sure we trust is reliable, and that when it gets to election day that we've been proactive to make sure that we have the right people voting, electing the right leaders to lead this country through the days that we have, knowing that people can trust it.
She said, quote, when it gets to election day, we've been proactive to make sure we have the right people voting, electing the right leaders to lead this country. The right people vote. Who are the right people, Kristi? Who are the right people? I know the answer. The answer to you is Republicans. The answer to you is MAGA idiots. Yet again, another admission. Oh yeah, of course we're trying to do voter disenfranchisement and ballot spoiling and ballot purging, and we're trying to, find ways to cheat to make it so we win no matter what. In fact, here, let me give you this. I read the Trump-backed voter suppression bill, the so-called Save America Act, so you don't have to. Here's my summary, okay? Please tell your senators to vote no on this abomination. And here's what this says. Beware the Trump-backed so-called Save America Act. It requires that states establish voter purge programs using systems that experts call unreliable, such as the DHS's SAVE system, as updated by DOJ and the Social Security Administration's verification system. By the way, there's already reports they're wrongly kicking people off the voter rolls. If you're an American citizen, but you happen to be born overseas, they're just kicking those people off either way, even though they can't do that. Number 2, subjects election officials to citizen suits and potentially prison time for a single erroneous registration, even if the voter is a citizen, but not for erroneous voter purges. Number 3, requires that anyone registering to vote or changing their registration or re-registering after a faulty voter purge prove their citizenship in person with approved documentation, such as a U.S. passport, an expensive option that many voters lack. By the way, yes, in this piece of legislation, they oftentimes, you need a driver's license, you need a passport, you need this military document, you need that military document, you need all these different things. Some of the documents they describe don't even fucking exist, y'all. They don't even exist. Like, the whole point, obviously, is to disenfranchise voters, to limit the voter pool. Because as a general rule, when turnout is down, Republicans do good. When turnout is up, Democrats do good. That's where we are now. And they know that, and they're aware of that. Omits real IDs from the list of approved registration documents, unless the real ID indicates that applicant is a U.S. citizen, a requirement that excludes most real IDs because only 5 states issue real IDs that indicate citizenship, or the real ID is presented with a certified birth certificate that matches the real ID, which won't work for up to 69 million women whose last names don't match their birth certificates. That's the other. So, massive attempt to disenfranchise women. That's what this is. Wake up. Wakey, wakey. Massive attempt to disenfranchise women. Oh, did you get married? Did you change your name? Guess you're fucked, son. Guess you got to deal with that. They're making it so it's like, hey, if you go and vote, bring your passport, bring your driver's license, bring your real ID, bring your birth certificate. Like, who even knows where the fuck some of that shit is, right? It omits marriage certificates from the list of approved registration documents, effectively disenfranchising the women in the 4B category above unless they can afford passports. Won't let you cast a ballot without voter ID documents that, again, prove you are a U.S. citizen. So, again, understand what this is, guys. There is no actual problem here. They're making it seem like, oh, voter voter fraud is a huge problem. No, it's not. They've done studies on this. A right-wing think tank did a study, and what did they find out? There were 77 instances of voter fraud for 24 years. That is literally like 0.000007% of votes. No impact on the elections whatsoever. Not even a little bit. So what they're trying to do, and this is the main point, and they know this, what they're trying to do is just put up multiple hurdles to try to block people from voting. The more of a pain in the ass you make it, the more people will throw their arms up and say, fuck it, I'm just not going to vote. And of course, who's more likely to not jump through those hoops? Poor people, people who work multiple jobs and don't have the fucking time, people who literally just don't have the money to pay for like a passport, costs like $130 or more than that. Like they don't have the money to be able to go through that process and go pay for it and fill out all the paperwork and all that bullshit. It's literally just put multiple hurdles in the way. Some people, of course, will just check out. It's like a mathematical reality that some percentage of people will check out. That lowers the voting pool, and then mix that with the ballot spoiling and ballot purging, and boom, Republicans have a built-in massive, massive advantage. That's the point. That's the point. So it literally is, they should, if they're being honest, it wouldn't be called the Save America Act. It would be called the Voter Disenfranchisement Act. And in a world where we should be making it easier to vote, you should have automatic voter registration at the age of 16. You never have to worry about it again, full stop, period. It should be automatic. But no, they're trying to make it harder for people to vote. I mean, it's so crazy. Think, like, you're an undocumented immigrant. You're here. You're busting your ass working, but you're trying to stay away from the authorities. Why would that person go vote? Of course they're not going to fucking go vote. They're just begging, hey, come after me, which is why they don't vote. But they make it seem like it's a big problem. No, the real problem is not voter fraud, it's election fraud. And who's doing the election fraud? Republicans are doing the election fraud. Trump did the fucking fake elector slate. Trump did January 6th. He tried to steal the 2020 election, and Jack Smith just came out the other day in the committee hearing, and he testified, look, if I was able to finish my job, Trump would be in prison. I caught him. It was over. It was done. I had him dead to rights. We know for sure. I guarantee you he would have been in prison if I was able to finish my job, right? That's the real problem. It's election fraud. It's not voter fraud. This is nothing but rank disenfranchisement. And now they're literally saying it. They're saying the quiet part out loud. Quote, when it gets to election day, we've been proactive to make sure we have the right people voting, also known as Republicans. When they tell you who they are, fucking believe them.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.